Hey everybody, Rob Anderson with Chair Chat. I'd like to take about 5-10 minutes today to cover some things for this week and then let you get on with your weekend. As far as meetings go, our next meeting is the 4th of November at the Park City Library, State Central Committee meeting. A couple of things that will occur there. One is elections. There's been a lot of discussion about elections and some things being said about those. As of the last meeting, it was ended without a plan to continue the meeting at the next election. So therefore, in mine and a parliamentary opinion, the elections fell to the ground at that point. Robert's Rules is written in a method to allow everyone an opportunity to speak before someone is allowed to speak twice, and to be as fair and as inclusive as possible. So at that point, and to keep it within the spirit of Robert's Rules, it was my decision to open those elections back up for applicants. And I don't know if anyone or who has reapplied for those positions, but there are two positions open, one in the CMB committee and one for the CD4 committee. So the point there being, there's no nefarious things going on. There's no decision to eliminate those candidates. Both of those elections, ironically, and this can't be official because it's not within the confines of a meeting, were ties. And so obviously in that election, no one was favored in that. So opening it up to new applicants might give everybody a different selection and a solution to come down. Also, in those elections, this next meeting will be a different body because there will be people who attended last time that won't be able to attend this next time, or vice versa. And so it'll be a different body conducting those elections. So that's all I'll say about that. As far as the discussion, there's a resolution about IRV that's going to be discussed in there, and I encourage people to have an open and thorough discussion about the benefits and the detractions from IRV as far as an electoral process. The next item I'd like to talk about is something that's big in the news the next 2 days, today and tomorrow, is Count My Vote. Count My Vote's holding its public meetings today, and in those public meetings, they'll discuss their petition to basically go to a primary, which will eliminate the convention system of getting to the ballot. As far as the attendance so far, I've heard was pretty low for this morning meetings. I don't know how it'll go this afternoon, but let me talk about my personal, this is Rob Anderson's personal feelings about the Count My Vote petition. As far as people who say Senate Bill 54 destroys the caucus system, it doesn't. Does it weaken it? Yes, it's not the all-powerful method to the ballot anymore. However, if we look back in history, we find MySpace was eclipsed by Facebook because they didn't modify and they didn't keep ahead of the times. Walmart always said that people would come to the store before they would go shop online and get things the day after. But now Amazon's delivering the same day. Let's look at Google with their algorithms that eclipsed Yahoo, and Yahoo is no longer a real factor in the internet. And so with those being said, I think if the caucus convention system is going to remain viable in the future, it has to modify it. It has to become more appealing to people out there. And so with that being said, you know, everybody complains about statistics if those statistics don't support their opinion. Well, when faced with a pure caucus system or a pure primary, the primary wins by 85% of the polling. If it faces a dual path and a primary only method, then it's a pretty close tie. And I think that's a battle we can win out there. If we want the caucus to be relevant, we have to accept the dual path. And we can make the dual path stronger and better if we work together. And those are all my personal feelings. As far as the party goes, we haven't had a substantive discussion with the new SCC body about the body's feelings, and I hope that we can do that in this next meeting. As far as the debt, everybody's concerned about the debt. I can tell you that every week it is disappointing to hear and receive emails and communications that the debt is still out there and it's not being paid off. For instance, we got served last week with a debt that we didn't know of $6,000. I also got a call today from a representative who had some flyers mailed through the party last election cycle. He handed a check to the party, and those funds were used to pay off other bills, and so that debt still is there. So now I'm looking for $3,000 to basically pay off those mailers for the representative who actually gave us that check last year. And so the debt is overwhelming at times, and it's unfortunate at times. And so something that I think more so than to count my vote is the unpopularity that we are getting in the press because of our debt, and we need to figure out how to square that corner sooner than later. We've raised some money, but we've also found some other debts out there in the meantime, and we need to retire that debt as soon as possible. And I'm talking about the legal debt as well. I've done some research about the legal debt, and I'll have some presentations and some things to hand out at the 4th November meeting to clarify a lot of statements that were said over the last 6 months to a year that are simply not true. Also, the last thing I'd like to talk about is some events. Unfortunately, this isn't going to be live, so you won't be able to message me, but I can get some feedback from you, so please give me that feedback and we can answer those questions later. But as far as events go, the 15th of November, we have an Elephant Club luncheon. That will be at the headquarters in the conference room in the back. And our guest speaker will be General Brian Tarbett, who's the former Adjutant General and now works for the Utah Defense Alliance, as well as we'll get a 5-minute spiel from Jake Parkinson on the state of the Salt Lake County Republican Party. On the 25th of November, it's a Saturday, we're going to have a Christmas social in the room, and we're going to have some hot chocolate, some treats, and a Santa Claus. So bring your camera, come down. You can walk through the Temple Square and see the lights, Christmas lights, and then come by from 5 to 8 p.m., the Utah GOP headquarters, and get some hot chocolate, warm up, and take some pictures with Santa without the rush of the mall and all the kids waiting in the mall for pictures with Santa. So we'll have that on the 25th of November. And the last thing for this year, probably the last event this year, will be the 1st of December Christmas social that will be hosted by Scott Keller at his house up in Bountiful. And I appreciate Scott and everything he's done for the party. He's been one of the major donors that's come back to the party. The last thing I'll say is I appreciate your support. I've had a lot of people voice their concerns about the party. I hear those concerns. There are things that we need to do. We also have a robust volunteer list from our last poll and survey response. So we have about a 386 member volunteer list, and that's great. And we need those people out there. So look for us to contact you in the future to do things, and we need people who start projects and finish those, and we need those accomplished, and those will make the party stronger and more effective. Again, if you have any questions or comments, please email me at rob@utgop.org or give me a phone call. My cell phone's available online as well. I appreciate everything you do for the party, the support you get for the party, and let's square this corner together and work together. Thank you.